The first thing everyone noticed about the new guy was how calm he looked when the steel doors slammed behind him. No fear in his eyes, no swagger either, just a quiet stillness that didn't belong in a place like this. In a prison where predators sniff weakness like blood in the water, calm was either courage or a death wish. Before this story goes any further, if you enjoy intense cinematic stories with unexpected twists, hit that subscribe button and become part of this channel. You won't want to miss what happens next. They called him Eli, mid-50s, graying hair cropped short, wore his prison blues like he'd worn uniforms before. He didn't talk much during intake, didn't ask questions, didn't flinch when guards barked orders. The other inmates watched from the shadows, already placing bets on how long he'd last. In Cell Block D, a place ruled by fear and fists, newcomers rarely survived their first week without paying a price. That price was usually collected by Marcus Kane. Kane was the undisputed gang leader of the block. 6'4", tattooed knuckles, scars layered over scars. He'd broken men for less than a wrong look. When Kane heard about the quiet old man who didn't bow his head, he laughed. "Bring him to the yard," he said. "Let's see how peaceful he is." The yard buzzed when Eli stepped out. Kane's crew circled like wolves. Kane walked up close, invading Eli's space, breathing heavy, smiling without warmth. He flicked Eli's chest with 2 fingers.
"This isn't a monastery, old man," he sneered. "You either kneel, bleed, or join. Which one you choosing?"
Eli met his eyes, not with anger, not with fear, just awareness. "None of those," he said softly. Laughter erupted. Kane shoved him hard. Eli stumbled back, caught himself, and stayed upright. Kane leaned in, whispering threats about broken bones and long nights. Then he struck. Fast, brutal, meant to end the conversation. But something strange happened. Eli didn't panic. His body moved before thought. One step, a turn of the wrist. Kane's punch slid past empty air, and suddenly the giant was off balance. Eli released him instantly, stepping back like nothing had happened. The yard went silent. Kane stared at his own hands, confused, embarrassed. "You got lucky," Kane growled, masking shock with rage. He ordered his crew to stand down. "Tonight," he told Eli, "you learn how this place works." That night never came the way Kane planned. In the showers, 3 men surrounded Eli. No witnesses, no cameras. One lunged with a shank. Eli sighed, almost sadly, and moved. What followed wasn't flashy. No wild brawling, just precise, efficient motion. A wrist locked here, a pressure point there. One man collapsed gasping. Another screamed as his arm went numb. The third ran. By morning, rumors burned through the block. The old man wasn't lucky. He was dangerous. Kane demanded answers. He cornered Eli in the library days later, voice low, shaking with something close to fear. "What are you?" he asked. Eli finally spoke more than a sentence. He talked about a life before prison, about teaching martial arts in California, about serving overseas, training soldiers in hand-to-hand combat, about walking away after his wife died, after violence took everything he loved. He explained he hadn't come to prison to fight. He'd come because a man hurt a child, and the system let him walk free. Eli didn't. "I buried that part of me," he said, "but you keep digging." Kane saw it then. Not arrogance, control, the kind that comes from decades of discipline. For the first time in years, Kane backed down. But prison doesn't reward peace easily. Another gang challenged Kane's authority, thinking Eli made him weak. A riot erupted in the cafeteria. Chaos, screams, trays flying, guards overwhelmed. Kane was jumped, stabbed, left bleeding on the floor. Eli saw it all. He could have walked away. Instead, he stepped into the storm. He moved through bodies like water through cracks, deflecting blows, disarming attackers without killing them. He shielded Cain, dragged him to safety, stood his ground until sirens screamed and guards flooded in. When it was over, Eli was cuffed, bruised, breathing hard, but alive. So was Cain. Weeks later, Cain sat beside Eli in the infirmary. "Why?" he asked quietly. Eli looked out the barred window. "Because strength isn't about ruling people," he said. "It's about stopping chaos when you can." From that day on, the block changed. Violence dropped. Cain kept his men in line. Eli kept to himself. He taught a few inmates how to breathe, how to control anger, how to stand without fighting. When Eli was released months later, no one taunted him. No one followed him. They simply watched as a man who could have ruled walked free instead. Some legends aren't loud, some don't want power, and the most dangerous man in prison was the one who didn't want to fight at all. Now I want to hear from you. From which part of the country are you watching this video? Drop it in the comments and let's talk.